Yeah. What's going on, everybody? This is that One Piece Talk, where we talk One Piece, and this is the time you've been waiting for. My name is Larry.
Lawrence.
Sam.
And this is the One Piece Talk.
Yeah.
So let's get it. Let's get it going, man. I'm so glad to be here, man. We had a chapter. But we had a chapter.
You went from like 1,000 to like 10.
Listen, man. That's how it is. So, we're not even gonna get into anything. I just want to get straight into the chapter. I want to see what you guys think, and then I have a lot of questions to ask you. So
I'm gonna burn through this chapter then. It's a lot.
yeah, man. I mean, it's not that much, but it could take quite a minute. Also, while you guys are watching, don't forget that like button, and also if you're not subscribed already, subscribe. Anyway, let's go.
Can you not yell at the audience?
Oh, my bad, man. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So, One Piece chapter 1027, Danger Beyond Imagining. We'll start off with the cover. It's Roger running from a lion that he seemingly rode on, which is pretty funny. He's like laughing while he's running, while Shanks and Buggy are like climbing a tree to avoid it because they're a little shook. I thought that was funny. And apparently he wrote dog on the lion. That's why the lion is mad at him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That's what his leg says, right?
The lion can read now, though. Put some respect on it.
I'm actually surprised that Shanks is higher than Buggy on the tree.
Shanks was shook.
Because you would think that Buggy would be before Shanks, like all the way up there, you know?
Yeah, but you can't show Buggy above Shanks at any moment. So
Yeah, you're right. Yo, Roger definitely reminded me of Luffy a little bit.
yeah.
And I don't know, I ain't kind of like that. But keep going.
I love it when they show the parallels between
Nah,
Roger
man,
and Luffy,
F that, man.
whole
He's
thing-
supposed to be different.
No,
they too similar.
They both describe that they're supposed to be both free spirits.
What do you mean? Luffy doesn't have a mustache.
He will.
He will.
He'll
look
have
foolish.
a little goatee or something.
Yeah, he'll
He's
look-
not gonna
yeah,
have a
a
mustache.
Yeah.
Luffy also has a chain. You know what I mean?
Imagine Oda just gives him really big sideburns.
What do you
Like
think
no
Roger
chin hair,
is?
no, huh?
What do you think he is? Like Luffy's supposed to be Brazilian, right? Is Roger?
Roger
He's like-
looks
nah.
Mexican.
Right? He looks kind of
But
Mexican.
I don't know if he's
probably
actually-
like Portuguese.
Yeah, he's probably
like they're
Portuguese.
probably right near each other, you know?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Roger looked cool though. I like that. He always looks cooler without his hat, which is weird.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what that's about.
He looks like Captain Crunch. And he usually has his hat.
I don't know. He
much.
just looks so campy
Is it-
with his hat.
Is it because he has that little bandana underneath it?
Nah, he doesn't even have a banana, it looks like.
But when he wears the hat, he has like a yellow bandana usually.
It's funny. Y'all got Luffy from this. I got Ace.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nah, Ace
This
is way too
This
cool.
reminded me of Ace in Ace's cover story where he's in that Marine base. Like he has moments like this in that. I don't know. It reminded me of Ace. Chest all out. I don't know. Got
Yeah.
the puka shell necklace. It's Ace, man. But whatever. Anyway, to start off with the actual chapter, we start with Nekomamushi talking to Wanda and Carrot, and they're all hype because he beat Prospero, and Prospero's just laid out, tongue all out. And he's warning them to like be careful because the moon is back out and like they might turn into their Sulong form. What?
I think I remember like a joke where they were like, "You better close your mouth when something falls in."
Why is that familiar? I don't know what it
am I
is.
thinking about?
But that does
He's like,
sound
"You better
familiar."
close it.
Yo, it's wild. He's like fully knocked out and his tongue's just out. Like,
Why he draw his tongue so big like that for?
Because he licks candy. That's like his thing.
Tastes like candy.
I can hear it when you walk.
Even when you talk.
Don't run me. Yeah, I was just listening to that song yesterday. Yeah, I had my aunt in the car, and she was like, yeah, nephew. The whole time I'm thinking like, yo, she thinking about coke?
I'm about to say that song's about cocaine. Anyway.
Reveals.
Reveal yourself.
So Yamato is looking up and sees the sky split and the moon is out. And she starts reminiscing about how in the journal that Odin wrote, when he talked about Roger and Whitebeard, when they met in combat, they used to split the sky as well. So she's like having that Luffy, Kaido, this is like a clash of the top people in the game kind of moment, which, you know, it was pretty cool. And then we get to the actual Onigashima castle, and stuff is starting to rumble and crumble through from that clash that they had, and people are wondering what's happening upstairs, and we get a little snap of Luffy and Kaido staring menacingly at each other. And then we get Yamato reminiscing on the Thunder Bagua she blocked, but I guess she didn't fully block it because she started bleeding profusely from the head, and she's realizing like even she couldn't like block, she can't come close to replicating what Kaido was able to do. And Luffy screams out to her to help the coward Momonosuke out. And Momo gets mad because he's calling him a coward. And he's like, shape up. Like, we got work to do. And Momo's all, shut up. I know what I have to do. But people do not just change their nature in minutes. Which I like, because it would have been weird if Momo just became super badass. Like
I'm grown now.
Yeah, nah.
I guess.
Nah, it would have been weird. It would have been like, bro, are you serious?
I mean,
you just age up and that's it.
With age, and I know that it happened in minutes, and I know he's gonna have the same mentality, but he will have a sudden. He'll feel a little bit more confident because he's stronger than he was before. Mm-hmm. So I think he could probably have a little bit more confidence than he has right now, and I'd be okay with that. But if it was too much confidence, then I'd be like, all right, this is too much.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's more like a child instead of like, he was just an adult. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, he feels stronger. Like, the sword in his hand feels smaller now. So, in a way, I feel like he should be a little bit more confident than he is.
We got to see him in his regular, like, adult version more. Because he wasn't, like, wielding a sword or anything, and that he was just like, I'm here. And then he turned dragon, like right after. So
he'd have to recognize his own capability as a grown person.
He'd have to take a swing, like with the sword, and see the damage that's happening versus what he's capable of right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, Yamato, Luffy essentially. Yamato goes to help Kaido. Kaido, wow, imagine that. Anyway, Momo, and she's saying like she'll help him out, and Kaido screams at both of them like, "Where the hell do you guys think you're going?" While they're trying to run away. Yeah, Momo thinks back to Kinemon and Kiku dying, quotation marks, and they promise that he'll do his part, and he tries to jump off the island. And Kaido goes to attack them, and Yamato blocks it, and then Luffy wraps both his legs around Kaido and screams out to Yamato, saying like, and Yamato realizes you want to take him on by yourself, and he says yeah, and he has that like classic Luffy smile, and then they dive full speed off of the island, and I'm almost scared as hell because he's still scared of heights, which is still funny to me. And Yamato's telling him like, "Hey, don't be scared. Just grab the clouds, like grab the sky, because you don't actually fly. You run like you race through the sky by grabbing the flame clouds." And Momo starts doing it, and then some debris starts falling towards them, and Yamato smashes them away. And then literally they realize the island's starting to collapse. And like debris and giant rocks are falling down. And Yamato makes mention to something I did not expect to happen in this chapter, is that Kaido's powers are weakening.
Could be, but yeah.
She wouldn't have said it if it wasn't the case, bro. She has probably the most knowledge of Kaido's abilities of anybody.
Yeah.
And so she makes mention that Kaido's powers are potentially weakening, and that's making the flame clouds unstable, and they're not able to support the flying rock, and that's why the stuff is falling. So Momo, thinking, oh my god, that's terrible, tries to like bum rush into the island while it's floating, and she's like, that's not gonna work. But there's no time, because the flower capital is right there. All the people are there. Yamato makes a statement that reminded me of Dragon Ball Z and Frieza. She says,
I immediately thought it.
That they have 5 minutes. Ain't no way. These 5 minutes about to be so long. But anyway, 5 minutes until the island basically falls into the flower capital.
The legendary 5 minutes.
Yeah. And so
Momo in that one panel headbutted the island though.
Yeah. He did. You think it hurt? He looked like he was good. I mean,
if he's a dragon, he shouldn't really feel much like that,
Yeah, I guess so. And so Yamato starts telling him about how he can use the flame clouds to hold up the island again. And Momo's saying he doesn't have that kind of power. Like, I just learned how to fly and learned how to conjure flame clouds in general. How you expect me to hold the island? And Yamato's telling him that there's way too much at stake for him to not be able to do it because it's not just that the island's going to fall. Onigashima is stockpiled with explosives and stuff on the island, and that once it falls and makes impact, no matter where it falls, it's going to explode on some next level, which just raised the stakes way higher. Like, I thought the stakes were already high.
Yeah.
They were like, nah, let's make it even more ridiculous. Like, which I ain't got no problem with that.
The thing is, what I'm trying to say, wait, you're going to get into it, but like, Kaido,
What's the game plan, bro?
Because you want it there. You're not trying to blow it up. Do you not recognize?
He would live.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying because he wants it there.
If it happened, it would take him out of Yonko status. He'd be as strong as Yonko, but he wouldn't have the necessary allies anymore to take on like a whole Marine Ford by himself.
Mm-hmm. Yo, hold on. I mean, maybe I shouldn't ask this right now, but if Kaido was to win right now, is he still like a Yonko? Like,
yeah,
he just lost Toby Ropos and Cruz and allies. He lost all of that already. They already lost.
They're not dead.
They lost though.
They're not dead.
In that situation, they'd be dead.
You can take an L.
Hold on. In this situation, if the thing falls or whatever,
and they all die.
Sasaki and them is dead.
That's what I'm saying. He wouldn't be able to be a Yonko anymore. You can't just be strength-wise a Yonko, right? You need to have influence.
I mean, if you got clout,
you need allies.
If you got clout,
you need numbers.
If you're Kaido,
it's not gonna happen. He wouldn't be Yonko anymore. He would take himself out of Yonko. This is why this situation is impossible to happen.
I mean,
I'm trying to like he not recognize that because he wants it there he wants Wano. If you blow it all to submarines, because that's not his plan.
In his mind, it wasn't going to be, oh, I'm fighting to the death now, and I'm weakening, and the thing's going to fall from this distance.
True.
It's going to be, I'm going to place it there.
True.
So he's like, I'm messing my whole game plan up a little bit here.
Does this make Kaido not at full strength then? Because if he's focusing on that, like,
I'm gonna actually have a question. We're gonna get into that
later. Yamato basically, once Momo hears that, he's telling Yamato that they have to stop Luffy immediately because, this is gonna cause all that damage. Like him beating Kaido isn't gonna help, right? And so Yamato smashes a mallet on Momo's head and basically tells him, don't be an idiot. You want to stop the man who's putting everything on his back and standing in line of danger for everyone. No one can beat Kaido but Luffy. And we can't tell him about this. We have to go through with it ourselves because that would just burden him more. And so we cut to the performance floor of the Skull Dome, where apparently King is going wild and doing all types of air slashes, I guess similar to how Kaido did earlier. But his seemed to be a little stronger because he's wrecking people and even sent Zoro flying backwards.
He's wrecking people and buildings.
I would think that his scythes or his wind scars or whatever you want to call it are stronger than Kaido's because he has wings compared to Kaido just having scales.
And the comparison too, we saw literally Zoro bat one away.
Yeah.
We saw literally Zoro bat one away with one hand from Kaido. Yeah, he's blocking it with maybe two swords.
Yeah,
and gets that flying.
I will say this though, it seemed to me like he had blocked one, and then King, noticing that he was blocking one, sent another at him, which is why he started flying back.
Yeah, but we got to start thinking like we can't power scout every week, but we can. And at this point, it's like we can also say Zoro isn't at 100%.
Is he not?
We don't know. That's the thing too. Like that's still up in the air, right? Yeah, like we don't know if he was, what I'm saying. Like if he wasn't under this weird medicine for the time being, that he would be able to just slash it away too.
Yeah.
So.
And another thing, King is in what all intents and purposes seems to be his hybrid form.
Is it?
Yeah, because he's not in the same form that he was before. His wings are different.
He could have went.
Now I don't know if he has.
Nah, I think he could have just turned his arms. Into
like
the
how
wings.
Marco does. Marco does that.
Yeah,
just his arms into.
Yeah, but
wings.
Marco's like a Lagia with his, right? Like he's like intangible and he's able to reform because of that. King is like a solid being. You know?
I feel you, but I think you can still just turn into certain like your arm could be.
It would
like,
make sense.
I would rather it not be as high reform and have a whole
this
other
is
thing.
why, because it would break consistency. We know that his face and other like he would have to have a tail.
Yeah, something.
Yeah,
wait, do Petrodons have?
I thought it was a pterodactyl. I mean,
no,
they're the same thing.
I don't know nothing about dinosaurs.
Pterodactyls and whatever that is the same. They have tails. Yeah.
Well, we seen him when he kicked.
They have tails.
Well, no, when he kicked the
Yeah, he had
big
a tail.
monster.
But he was in full.
He had a tail though. I
Yeah.
think.
Did he?
Yeah.
He looked full like.
Yeah, I was looking at King's ass. Anyway.
See, this is what you're doing. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
I ain't know this. Is what I'm saying. Anyway, Zoro gets sent flying and he crashes into Frankie. And Frankie's like, "Oh, what's that? What happened?" And Zoro says, "Oh man, he's strong, but that's to be expected." Because
Where'd you read that at? I mean, it's probably the same thing.
Well, you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind, I got you.
Did you download the jump app?
I did. I'm looking at it right now.
All right, cool.
It doesn't say
so
that.
we're not pirating.
It
Just
doesn't
to
say
let
that.
everybody know.
It doesn't say that. I'm just
anyway. Anyway, Frankie asks what's happening out there and asks Zoro if he wants help. And Zoro says, no need. Basically implying, I got it.
I just want to say, this is my favorite page out of the chapter. Because I love the way King is dominating. But he sent Zoro flying to one of my favorite Straw Hat member, basically. And the way it looks like Zoro's flying, you could tell how strong King is.
Yeah.
But also, like, Zoro was like, yo, this is crazy. I just got blown back mad hard. And then Frankie catches him. So it's pretty cool overall just to see that little, I guess, couple panels. I thought it was dope. I was like, yo, this is a really good page.
I really liked it too. Mostly because it has that Zoro like acknowledging King's strength and then immediately saying, "Nah, I'm good. I got it."
Yeah.
Like I love that. It's Zoro.
Yeah.
It's like classic Zoro. I realize this person's strong. That makes me happy. That makes me intrigued to fight and beat him.
And for anybody that keeps being like, yo, stop saying Zolo, point blank, yo. Like, this is official translation.
Thank you.
And the guy says Z-O-L-O, Zolo. So it depends, man. Whatever he feels like saying at the time, like however they want to interpret it, it's the same thing.
Thank
You
you.
don't gotta
So
address
stop,
it, man.
no, man. Tired of disrespect, man. Hop off.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So on the next page, we have Queen commenting on King and his chaotic attacks that he was doing. And apparently he got hit with one of them by his ass.
Slice his butt.
Slice his butt.
Yo, it reminds me of Bad Boys 2 when Mike Lowry shot him in the ass during a Ku Klux Klan member meeting. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. You shot me. No, I didn't. That was.
King has his little comeback like he always has when he talks to Queen. I wish I sliced your neck. And so somebody who got probably half his face ripped off is commenting saying that Pirate Hunter Zoro just demasked King, just damaged King's mask. And they're saying, oh, no wonder he snapped. After all, nobody knows what King's face looks like. And you see King walking towards Zoro and Frankie, and he looked super badass in that panel. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, King looked
It was like
dope.
it was like Batman, but like BDSM version. You feel me? But anyway,
When is Batman not BDSM? That's the question. Yo, I do want to point out this next page. That top right panel of Zoro is the worst drawn Zoro I've ever seen in my life.
you must not have went back and reread One Piece from start, because
Yo.
there are much worse drawings of
Bro,
Zoro.
but this late in the game,
this-
look at him, bro.
he got a lot going on.
He
man.
looks like a different person.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was too bad.
Yo, bro, that's bad.
It just looks like older. It
Yo.
looks like Zoro from way back. That's what he used to be looking like.
He looks bad,
With
bro.
the bandana on,
looks
and
bad.
that's what it was like.
It's because the thing is so small.
You know
look at
what-
Frankie in the back. He looks like a toy.
You know what looked crazy to me?
Let me
His
see.
eye looked like it was open. That was my thing. I was like, bro.
Nah, his eyes closed.
Yo, it looked like it was open to me.
Yeah, this is one of the worst panels I think I've seen.
Because you're trying to draw
Ever.
so much detail in such
Yeah.
a small thing. It's not gonna look that.
Yeah, it looks bad though.
I wasn't too focused on it, but she's right. And so,
Alright.
It's funny we say that, but if you look at the next one, it's like the same size. That looks so much better.
right?
So much better. So much
There's
better.
way more detail in there. There's the same amount of thought.
Bro, those
speaking
are two
bubbles, too.
different people, bro.
One is Zoro, one
Everybody
is
that's
Zolo.
watching this now is like, yo, I gotta go to this panel, bro.
See, there's this. One is Zoro and one is Zolo.
Yeah. The first one is Zoro.
The first one is Zoro. The second one is Zoro.
His evil twin.
Oh man.
Anyway.
So King dashes at
It reminds me
Zoro.
of that one SpongeBob that he drew.
Doodle Bob was it?
It was Doodle Zoro.
Doodle Zolo. Anyway. So King dashes at Zoro with Imperial Archer, and Zoro counters with 3-sword style Ultra Tiger Hunt, and they clash, and Zoro seems to cut a little more of King's mask off, and King sends Zoro flying through like 2 different pieces of like.
This is one of those
wood and
pages
stuff,
that you gotta see animated.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough happening for you to dissect like the way King's wing is hitting Zoro.
Yeah.
It looks like Zoro's just clashing with him. Then his mask gets cut off. You know, and it's like, how does the trajectory of what you're doing affect King in that way when his face is so far from you? So it's kind of like he did like a wind slash, and it cut off a piece of it when King deflected it or something. I don't know. I can't really tell, but I get you.
It's like the impact, and like it might be one of those attacks where you know how they have like visuals of animals and stuff, demons, when Zoro like attacks you. Like maybe that's what did it, but we didn't see that technically, so I don't know.
But it's just the force of Zoro's attack is so strong that the aftermath is getting to King.
You know, Oda, he won't let Zoro look bad for too long. You know what I mean? Like he got to do something.
There's
even
always
when
those
he's taking
little
a loss.
sneak hits.
Yeah, he gets something off. Like he can't just take the loss in a situation. Like so, he gets sent flying though. He did get tossed through. Like
a lot, actually.
Yeah, like rocks and doors and all that, like almost off the island. And then he starts coughing blood a little bit. So maybe Larry's right. Maybe he's not fully 100. Or King's attack was just that strong. And then King follows right up, which I love. He goes right back at him and tries to hit him again. Zoro blocks it, but falls farther off the island of Onigashima. And we see the skull in the background. And then he does 2-sword style clearance, or clear lance. Wow, that's 2 different words.
Yep.
Anyway, clear lance to project himself back onto the island and lands. And he says, well, that was close, starts breathing heavily, and he's like, at least let me die by the sword, show a little respect. And King says, I ask the same of you. And we see King's mask is a little cut, and we see he has light-colored hair, blonde squad. And he
I don't think he's blonde.
seemingly
I don't think he's
has
blonde
dark
either.
skin, which is a current theme among Zoro's opponents.
So it's weird.
Zoro's
man,
racist. I
because-
don't know if y'all knew that. I don't know if y'all knew that.
So like, I don't like the fact that like Zoro said, "At least let me die by the sword," and I love how King is just supremely just cool. Like even the way he's standing when Zoro comes back into like the skull,
just watching
he's
him
just
come back.
standing him like, "Come on, bro."
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like King has talked more than he's ever talked the
It's true.
entirety of his showing in this like 5 pages.
I'll say this though, Larry. Other translations, I won't say where, but Zoro said something a little different. He said that was close. You should at least use a blade when you go for the kill.
Yeah.
What you just pulled was unforgivable. More taunting than, you know what I mean?
But it doesn't match because he's not a blade user.
He has a sword.
Yeah.
He uses a sword when he needs to use it.
See, I read it as like it makes him die by the sword. I mean, kill me by the sword. I think it was like at least use your blade.
Yeah.
Like use your blade when you're fighting me.
Listen, if I don't need to, I'm not going to. Obviously,
That's what it is.
you getting dominated right now. So
Dominate's a strong word.
How about you shut up and keep getting his ass whooping?
But
See, you gassing it now. You gassing it now.
Yeah.
Yo,
I-
is he not getting whooped? You know,
He's losing exchanges, but he's not completely losing.
listen, that's losing.
No, but also too.
He literally rocked
if he
King
was-
enough to get him mad.
If he's losing that much, look what King says. I'll ask the same of you. Obviously, not talking about use the blade. Zolo's using his blade.
He's saying-
so he's talking about Zolo's in a way disrespecting him. How? The only thing I can think of is the tacking of the head or the mask.
No, yeah, he's saying the same. If he reveals his mask, like apparently him not showing his face is a thing to him.
Yeah.
Now people know you know what I'm saying, or whatever it is, his face mask is coming off. That is unforgivable to King. That's why he got mad. That's why Zoro triggered him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can't say Zoro getting his ass whooped. We just didn't see the attack that led to him getting that first match.
Yeah.
Low key, if you look at King's marking of the flame on his mask near his eye, if you don't think about it from the bottom, if you only think about it from the top, it looks like he's crying. It's like
Maybe
a
he
tear.
is, yo.
It's like
He's
a
not
tear.
crying.
Maybe he got teardrops.
That's been part of his. Oh,
No, let me ask. Well, that's the end of the chapter. There is no break next week, so that's great.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this real quick. Do y'all think that's blood on King's face there, or is that a marking of some sort of tattoo? Because there was a huge thing in the community saying that it was a tattoo or some sort of marking.
See, that right there, close up, it looks like a tattoo. But if you go down the bottom, it looks like a mark.
I thought it was blood.
Right, so when you magnify it,
like
a normal person,
like CSI,
you can see that it's part of his mask. It's a crack because that's where the goggle is, or the top. Now there's a vein.
But scroll up. No, but scroll up.
Hold on. There's a vein on his head, and then he has hair.
Nah, bro,
These
scroll.
are
You're not
all-
listening to me. You're in the wrong page. That's what I'm saying.
You ain't got the
You're in the wrong page.
Let me go to the other page.
That one. You see
right.
what I'm saying? Like, that's not the same.
Okay, so this is once again the crack
Ah, maybe.
on
I don't know,
his
man.
suit.
I don't know.
No, because also
I don't know, Larry.
Because if he's supposed to be the people on the moon, they kind of rivaled the
Listen, man.
Shannonians. They had tattoos on their.
Let's
They
get
did
into
have
these questions.
tats.
Let's get into
Alright.
these
Dark
questions.
skinned,
Let's get
you know
into
what I'm
these
saying?
questions. All right, let's get into these questions. All right. Anyway, started off. Is Zorro racist?
No.
Yo.
The reason I say this is because most of his fights are against color of people.
Yo.
Oda said he'd be a police officer in real life. He ditched Shisui because it's a black blade. His favorite sword is white. And he wasn't a fan of Afro Luffy.
Talk to him.
Now, in the people that he's fought in the show have been Django, Mrs. Monday, Mr. Five, Daz Bones, Kuma, Pika, King, and lastly Sanji's called Blackleg Sanji. So, and he might be part Lunarian.
Did you?
Is he racist?
Okay,
As men of color, is all racist.
Did you add the guy from Skype?
Yeah, that's home.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
No, he's not
even
racist.
Kaku is dark skinned. You feel me? Like, of
Is he racist?
No, you realize Usopp.
yo, he didn't want Usopp back in the crew. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, bro.
No, okay.
That's all I'm saying. He said, nah.
What was the
Nah,
reason?
B.
He better come correct. He want to come
He
back
was being
here.
disrespectful.
So what do you think?
Did not Zolo,
Sanji kicked Luffy. He got no problems.
Did Zolo not put his life on the line to say Usopp in NL's lobby?
He was
against-
Soga King at the time.
Shut up. He knew that was Usopp, bro.
Who was that
not
masked
racist.
feller? He's probably nice. That was one of them Tyrone Bigham. Nah, wasn't it Clay Bixby from Facial? Anyway,
All right. Anyway, what's our consensus on this
Zoro's
black
not
man?
racist.
He's not racist. Just leave it
He
as
is
that.
not racist. Everybody shut
It
up.
is hilarious that it's a thing.
But people really think.
There was a whole thread on it. Where's Jack?
Wow.
All right,
Yo.
anyway, if he's fighting people of color,
Also,
this
he's
is actually a big up to the people that he's fighting. Because he's second strongest on the crew, right? Usually Zoro's going to fight the second strongest person during that arc. So when you think about it in that case, Kuma, high tier, man. For Warlords, he's high tier. And then Mrs. Monday was giving people work during her time.
She was not second strongest.
No,
But
she
Das
wasn't
Bones
second
was.
strongest. No, she wasn't second strongest. But like during that island when they went there, she was she was banging out.
Mr. Five.
Mr. Five,
about-
they were running from him for like forever.
He was a little dirty though.
Yeah, he was dirty.
like,
Daz
okay.
Bones, obviously, you know, he got plotted out. Pika, where he was like the craziest thing on the island, to be honest with you, besides Luffy's birdcage. He had to take him out. So like all these people having to be high tier people. Yo, shout out to Oda for making people of color high tier people.
I see he has a lot because Kaido's also kind of dark.
Aokiji is also black.
Tan skinned.
Yeah.
And honestly, Zolo's a tan skinned Japanese person.
Depending on what era of One Piece you're watching. There was a time where he's like darker, and then like he got lighter over time, which is always more. Same with Robin. Robin was also darker, and then got.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He was also suspicious of Robin at that
got
time. I just want
mad.
to put that out. He was super suspicious of her, yo.
Yeah.
Everybody else was just in the crew. It's like
mad
whatever.
Pale. Robin did get. She's
Yeah.
like Nami's skin color.
They
now.
got
She went-
whitewashed, man.
Yeah, they got
got
whitewashed. They got whitewashed during Wano, for sure.
But Luffy got darker, and Zolo be just switching between his tan.
Yeah.
Zoro conflicted, bro.
Honestly, so
Oh,
was
you
Usopp.
conflicted.
Usopp too. I think he looks darker now than he did before, but
I'm just saying, when it was time to save Usopp or risk Zoro's actual
Hey.
life, he was gonna let Usopp die.
I
That's all I'm saying. When Jabra was coming,
you could kill that
he
right
went,
now
Nah, I'm good.
because you say all that, but Zolo definitely favors Usopp more than Sanji. And Sanji's probably the whitest person on the crew.
Yeah, but there's a difference because, like, when you're, like, racist against black people, you're also racist against, like, Aryans. And Sanji's blonde hair, blue eyed, you feel me?
Yeah. All right.
Zolo's not racist.
Anyway. So, at the end of the day, Zoro's not racist, people. That's it. He just fights high-tier people who happen to be of color.
You know what? He did make a fishman remark that was pretty racist.
What did he say?
Back in Arlong Park, yo. He said, "You dirty hat fish," or something like that.
Well, those were enemies.
And as we know, fishmen represent black people.
It's true.
In One Piece, for the most.
How would Zolo?
I'm just saying, there's evidence. There's a pattern. You know what I'm saying?
First of all,
there's a problematic pattern here.
Yo, imagine he's really low-key racist.
He's not racist.
It's like Oda letting his little bit of racism off.
They have like the most mixed crew in the entire show.
And Zoro would be asleep and not hanging with them half the time. Okay. He'd be his own, working out.
His best friend is literally Brazilian, who's like
Zoro doesn't have a best friend.
Luffy's not his best friend. Are you crazy?
Drink.
Nah, it's
Luffy's clearly his best friend.
Yo, leave
They're like brothers and best friends.
Sebastian be, bro. He's just trolling at this point.
I know.
He getting all the white people excited. That's watching this. You tell him.
But white people racist white people wouldn't like Japanese people either.
You don't know that.
Yeah.
They only like their own kind, racist white people, because they ignorant.
How many racist white people you know?
I don't know a lot. Anyway.
All right. Anyway, let's get on the topic.
Racism is not cool, y'all.
It's not. How impressed are you? How impressed are you with Yamato holding back Kaido and accomplishing it? Overall.
Well, you already know how I felt about that from the beginning when Lionel Sebastian was saying, Kaido's holding back so much because that's his daughter. I think we could put an end to all that, especially how he was just beating her on the ground and how he was coming out. Because I was trying to explain to Lionel when we were pretty much before we saw that, is the aggression he had. He looked more like kind of like a fed up father in a way. Like he wanted, like, this is not a game we're playing here. And that's the attitude he was showing here. Where the other ones, he's kind of like enjoying the excitement, like, oh, Luffy, you keep smiling at this. He wasn't smirking at Yamato at all. Like, he was serious. Like, yo, he goes, you keep running this game, you're gonna die because you're making me your enemy. It's not. I'm not playing pirate here. I'm not playing what I'm doing here. This is serious to me. You're choosing my enemy sides actively for years now. I'm putting a stop to this. Like, from the get, that was the attitude Kaido was bringing to Yamato. Like, he was getting more fed up, and we saw that because he still hasn't done that to either of the opponents he was fighting, where he was just beating them like that. Kaido legit got lashed out in anger. We haven't seen him do that to Zolo. We haven't seen him do it to Luffy. We haven't seen him do it to Odin, to any of his opponents, till Yamato. So there's a different type of attitude, and also he wouldn't let Yamato get even attacking. The point where, like, he even, like, when they both shot like that, a flying blade technique towards them. Right later on, when Yamato's looking at Kaido, he like disappears behind her and doesn't attack her and sends her flying. And she goes, that's what she was like, you're really trying to kill me. She sensed that through that attack. He disappeared behind her and then hit her, right? And then it's true, like, she almost lost an eye, possibly, you know? So I think that the aggression Kaido had, the seriously he was taking it, he was trying to shut Yamato down. Like, look, you keep opposing me, I'm going to take your life. Because this is close to home here. You're my daughter, you're supposed to be with me, but you're choosing to fight me. Like, to try, because also Yamato's trying to say is you're actually trying to kill me. So you're my daughter. You think I'm going to let this slide? This is personal here. This is more than business. You know.
What about you?
I mean, I'm very impressed by anybody who can compete with Ianko Dolo for any extended amount of time. Like, she was fighting him for multiple minutes, multiple attacks, and holding her own. I still don't agree with Horus on the whole.
Okay.
Like he was. I'm not saying he wasn't serious. But we're going to see in the fight with Luffy, he's going to have so much more he could have probably whipped out on her and just didn't. So he never whipped out his A-game stuff for her is what I'm saying.
But he didn't do it for the others either.
And that's cool.
Because they weren't, weren't strong enough to bring that out of them, I'll take that. But doesn't mean that she didn't do good well.
It is what it is. End of the day, he still held back. I'm still right.
But you're not. But you're also wrong though, because
he held back.
But
you're telling me he didn't hold back.
You held back against Luffy and all of them.
I don't know. When they flashed to Luffy and him Dolo, he got knocked out within a chapter or two. Like, it wasn't I got beat, and then immediately after she got beat down, like you're saying, she was up and ready to throw another attack at him. Like, but by the time Luffy and Momo got back up there, when it was Luffy and he started enjoying the fight, Luffy got knocked the hell out. He got sent off the island. Like, he clearly taken the Luffy. Like, it might not look like it, but he's putting more into putting Luffy down than he was into putting Yamato down.
When you say this, but Luffy also got one-shotted from the beginning.
Luffy's stronger than Yamato.
No, Luffy's endurance is not going to grow that much stronger. Like his will.
Is he not real?
No. I don't. No. Look, right? You say his will got stronger, right? But when you get knocked the hell out, that's nothing to do with your will. You just got knocked out. Because, like, again, you've been saying that Luffy's will has been stronger, way stronger than people's from the get, you know? He still got one-shotted in the beginning by Kaido. So where's the endurance strength? Where are we going to see him grow? The only thing we can see is that he's getting used to taking powers from that attack, right? Mm-hmm. But Kaido again is using stronger attacks, or even if you get used to that, multiple attacks like that, you're not going to be able to keep enduring. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, that's what I'm trying to say. Because before, we saw Luffy lose like Constance twice beforehand. One where he was finally knocked out, and then the other fight where Luffy was knocked out for a little bit, and then they all kept fighting. So it's showing that Luffy's growing a little bit in his endurance, but still the same way. He can't fully take Kaido's attacks.
But the thing is, so
I don't know.
And I want to let you go. But how many named attacks did Kaido do on Yamato versus that we saw him do on Luffy? Like, named, this is an actually. I thought Thunder Bagua is the only one I remember him doing.
No, there's another one that when they did the flying bait technique.
Oh yes. But he was even then just countering hers. You know, like she threw and hit at him, and he did it back to be like, "Yo, stop playing with me."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I didn't see him go full on ruthless. That one panel when he was getting ready to beat down on her, that yes. But again, like the results of that, she was good. She's hurt now.
No, but also too, you're forgetting she is a Zohan.
If I saw her,
taking him is going to be great.
If I saw him treat her like he treated them scabbards, I'd be like, word. Lawrence got it. Lawrence right. He was ready to end them. He stabbed Kinemon. He was bashing dudes' heads in. He was, like even when they just clashed to it.
You don't think he was doing that when he was just teeing off on her?
He was, but he ain't seen that way.
Dude, you're forgetting. Is she not a mythical angel type Zohan? See, her taking ability is going to be, and she's an orc. Like she's Kaido. Listen. She's legit a younger version of Kaido.
I can't say yes and I can't say no. Because at this point, every other chapter is not consistently the same with what Kaido's able to do and what he's not able to do. Mm-hmm. Like, you just gotta take it for what it is at this point. Like, maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. We didn't get to see what happened with him and Luffy when Luffy got knocked off. Mm-hmm. So all we know, he could have been way more serious than he actually is now, considering that he's, quotation marks, weakening by Yamato standards.
The other thing is, my bad. The other thing is, he wants Yamato to be the Shogun. Like, I'm gonna just kill you. Like, he hasn't said I'm gonna kill you yet. Like in this thing, like in the arc that we're at in Onigashima, he hasn't said, "Alright, screw it, I'm gonna just kill you." The way that Doflamingo ended up getting with Law, where he got mad enough. You know what? F that. I'm just gonna murder you. He hasn't gotten there yet with Yamato. He's still mad. He's still upset. He's still being a dad or whatever. Yeah. He's still identifying with her as a son. Like, he's still doing all that stuff. It's still, he wants her to be something. And he's taking the anger that he has that she's not doing it out. But he hasn't got to the, I'm going to murder you yet. To me, anyway.
All right, so let's go to the next question.
Yeah.
All right, so is Kaido the worst top-tier fighter in all of One Piece?
The worst.
And are we counting Luffy?
No.
The reason I ask is because currently right now, Yamato said he's possibly weakening. Everybody goes, he should probably be weakening because he's gone through so much in this entire arc. But as we know, he himself allows himself to get hit all the time. He even told Luffy, I should have just took your head off, but didn't. So that's why I say, is he the worst top tier fighter? Because in a way, he's sabotaging himself.
I don't think he's the worst top tier fighter. Yeah, he does let himself get hit because, in a way, he not that he believes in his own hype, but again, it's the whole belief that nothing could really kill him because he's an ogre and a dragon. So your taking ability is going to be like more than top notch, you know? and he's just like, all right, what can really hurt me? He kind of, I guess you watch that thrill, like, and again, like One Punch Man, like nothing phases me. I want to face a challenge. It's similar to that with Kaido. He wants that thrill of a fight. He wants a great war where he could actually be challenged. Yes, you could have took out Luffy. I've been talking to Sebastian about that. Like the same argument with Yamato. I go, well, he could have really, if he wanted to kill Luffy, he could have confirmed and killed Luffy instead of knocking him off that thing. He could have did that with Zolo. He could have did that with Law. He could have did that with all of them. If he really, really wanted to win all out, he could have finished them all. He's kind of playing in a way, like pretty much, so that it can make it. Something is like the weakest in strength wise, or like for the question.
No, I said, is he the worst top tier fighter?
So
in
it's like
all of
it's
One
like
Piece?
you acknowledge the strength, but it's like if he just utilized it in a better way, he would be unbeatable, right? Like it's like with Whitebeard, we just say even if he was asleep, you wouldn't allow anybody to touch you because he was truly impossible to defeat. Kaido is impossible to defeat for the most part because of his insane durability / like only X amount of people can even do real damage to me. But like once you take that away, now the scabbards are starting to get hits off. Now Zoro got a hit off. Now Luffy's getting hits off. Yamato's getting hits off. It's like, all right, once you even the playing field, he's still above all these people. But like none of these people are those elites. You know what I mean? So it's like, is he actually this, or is this just the hype of what he is? You know what I mean? Like, if say Akainu has King's position and advanced King's position, and he can utilize it, right? We've already seen people of Marco and others' caliber try to hit him, where he's able to use his ability and future sight most likely to not take those hits. Like Kaido not doing that. He's not even trying to do that, and that to me that makes him. I don't want to say he's the worst because you have to quantify it. Because when you're saying top tiers or elites, it's Kaido, Big Mom, Shanks. Are we even counting Blackbeard in there yet?
Yeah, Blackbeard
the Admirals.
It's just top tiers, you know?
The Admirals, Garp, you know what I mean? Roger, Whitebeard. That's what we're talking about. Rocks, whatever. That's what we're talking about. Is Kaido the worst of those people? Like, I can't see that. To me, it's still probably Big Mom just because I think she'd lose to everybody else because she just has such limitations with her, like, eating and she's low-key stupid. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
Go Lawrence.
I can't see her winning.
Now, I was going to say, well, to me, it's similar to, in a way, it's a little different, but Blackbeard. They kind of established before, and we're thinking that might be a way where Luffy beats Blackbeard, because we seen it in the fight with Ace, and we seen it, Whitebeard called him out on it. Arrogance and overconfidence. Because Blackbeard would kind of allow his arrogance or overconfidence to enter a fight, and he'll start talking trash, he allows himself to get hit. We saw that with the fight with Ace, where he was talking trash or saying whatever, then Ace hit him, like an open attack that you should have been able to dodge or block, but he got hit with. And then he's over here taunting at Whitebeard, and then Whitebeard cuts him in the chest, and he almost dies. And Whitebeard says, overconfidence and arrogance, those are your biggest weaknesses, Blackbeard, because they leave you open to taking damage, So that could be worse than what Kaido's doing, because Kaido's is like, well, I'm not really invincible, but it's like nothing can really hurt me. Where Blackbeard could get hurt, but he's still getting those hits, but that's because his taking ability is pretty good too. So it's like a weird personality quirks in them, that allows them to take more damage than they actually should.
I feel like they're the same fighter then, because in this instance, like if he was dodging most of the attacks that he could dodge easily, does he tire out right now? Is he weakening at this point?
Like if he had a Katakuri level, like
not even if he's just seeing something and he's dodging. We know he's fast enough. He's speed blitz gear 4.
Yeah.
We know this, but at the end of the day, he's just getting hit just to get hit. And I don't think it's the Zoan ability anymore. I think it's more like, I'm just going to get hit because I feel like getting hit.
Yeah.
And I think that makes him a really bad fighter. I think that you're allowing people that are so much lower than you the ability to possibly beat you. Maybe it's like a Zaraki from Bleach type thing.
Yeah.
But it makes you a bad fighter. It leaves you possibly able to be defeated, which is probably what he wants. So it makes me question, is Kaido looking at what's happening right now the great war that he wants? Is he lowering, how the Knicks will go to like a sorry team, right? and they'll play at their level,
I was not expecting this.
right?
Shot.
and you're
Whatever.
like, damn, like why is my team trash right now? And then they'll go and verse LeBron, and then they're like hanging in,
Yeah.
and
They
you're just
play
like,
to the level of the competition.
I
that
feel
they're
like
fighting.
Kaido's playing to his competition, and it's really showing how bad he is as a fighter. Because if he was doing this with Akainu and stuff like that, it makes me think that Akainu's gonna land some hits on him and really damage him. Like that magma punch was serious. So I don't know.
No, I just to add to that point where you could be right, and to me to make it seem like more of a challenge for him, because Lionel pulled it out before too. You notice when he was fighting Yamato, and Yamato went out of her like to base mode, went out of her right before they punched him. When she got knocked out, I don't know if Kaido knocked it out of her, but she went to her base mode, like no zone.
And then he
He
went
was
to-
in base mode too. Yeah.
Yeah, after she did that, he went into that mode.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like he's playing it to like I guess make it more of a, like again a handicap for himself, because he's like normally you're not on my level, but to make it more amusing, I'm gonna go to your level so we can fight.
Yeah. All right. So, do you think we'll see Beppo Sulong form this arc? And if so, would it be too late by now to see it?
Are people waiting for that? Is that a thing?
I don't know. It's
I-
just something that popped into my mind. It's because we have the Sulong. So
If
it's
the
like,
Big Mom Pirates come into play,
Yeah,
then
'cause
no, it's not too late. You know what I mean?
'Cause I was thinking who
Yeah,
she
that's
fought.
a good
Now,
thing.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
really about who you dealing with, what's happening. Maybe the Marines come. I don't know. But if there is another level of people, or maybe I got CP0 comes through and he's like around the Bodhi-glyph with law. I don't know. Maybe he tries to help fight Big Mom. I don't know. It depends on who he's fighting and the circumstance. But if he just goes Sulong to take out some fodders, it's like, all right, bro, like, what are we talking about?
yeah.
But Lost Food could use the power up.
I mean, he has it. He can go soon. I don't know if he can control it.
Probably
control
not.
it?
He just seems kind
Damn,
of.
bro, he can't even get that.
So we talked about it before, but as we've seen Frankie come into the picture, it looks like most of the Straw Hats are okay. What do you think their roles are for the rest of the arc?
Cleaning up the rest of the Yonko crew. That's
There has to be something a little more to that. I feel like, because I mean, so we still have. There's still stuff to do, right? In
Yeah.
the sense of we still don't know where that poneglyph is. We still have to save or evacuate the flower capital, because even if Momo does hold it up and place it down, then they can't just be under it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna work. They have this. There's stuff to do in that light. There's still enemies out. I don't think they take part in the Big Mom battle. I don't think they take part in whatever happens with Hawkins or whatever happens with Drake, who forever is never being brought up ever. But there's still stuff to do. It's just like Frankie seems fine. Like, Frankie looks like he could go again. Like, if he could drink some cola and go again if he needed to.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing to me. Like,
Cola.
yeah.
I'm gonna say honestly, helping them thinking about it, evacuating the thing, because they should see it now getting closer.
Yeah.
And they're still kind of partying and festing. The Straw Hats know what's really going on, but they're still having a party. They don't know Onigusha was about to land on all of them. So I could think maybe the Straw Hats could help evacuating them, getting it clear, because mad people are going to die if they don't move.
Isn't there another number out that's out there that we haven't seen getting taken out? There might be a couple more numbers.
I mean, the way they said it, he looked like he had like, what, at least 9 numbers?
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
9, maybe 10.
I thought that they were gonna go help Luffy, but at this point, it's like they're setting up where Luffy is only supposed to fight him, and I'm kind of like upset about it, because I do feel like he's not there yet, or he's not supposed to be. So the Straw Hats should have joined, and then he could have landed. Like, they could have did the whole Oars thing.
Yeah.
So that didn't happen. But
I would love for that to happen, but I just don't see how Zoro and Sanji finish their fights in time to
Yeah.
make that happen now.
probably not gonna.
So,
What
but who knows?
about I was thinking, about Carrot. She's been out of the spotlight for so long, and like she hasn't really done much this arc, except I think she went Sulong form, and then the claws got covered, and then she stopped being Sulong. But she hasn't really had much of an impact. So, do you believe Carrot will still kind of join the Straw Hat crew, or do you think her stock has dropped?
I don't want to say her stock dropped, but one thing, I mean, it makes sense, but I didn't think Pressroast was that strong. Pressroast showed that he was a lot stronger than I thought he was.
Yeah.
He took out 2 Solongs, Carrot and the other one by himself.
And he was beating Nekomamushi.
Yeah.
He almost beat Nekomamushi.
Yeah.
Listen, I try to tell y'all, Pro's that boy. He
It
survived
makes sense
a
that
sacrifice.
It makes sense that seriously.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense that he is, but for some reason, I guess just he didn't look like a fighter to me. Mm-hmm. And the way they treated him, like no, it was like without a doubt, it was like Dogtooth. Big Mom's gone Dogtooth, and he's like I'm the oldest brother, and apparently he's strong too. I'm the oldest brother and I'm strong, but they're like nah, Dogtooth.
But why do you think that? I mean, Cracker was clearly shown to be super strong, and he was like, ain't nobody touching Dogtooth. Like you know what I'm saying? And we still haven't seen Smoothie, but to me, yes, Carrot's stock is way down, but buy low. Because Carrot about to join the crew. I don't care. I'm still on that Carrot train. I just can't. The problem is she wouldn't join in the way that any other Straw Hat has joined. It would be a like parallel to the Minx joining Roger and Whitebeard's crew, where like they stowed away on the crew. The same way she ended up going to Whole Cake. It would have to be something like that because she realizes that this crew is the crew that's going to do the thing that Pedro said about bringing the dawn. And she wants to be a part of it. She's shown to be like the biggest Straw Hat fan out of anybody. Like,
more than
and she has that built-in like dynamic with Chopper. She has the role in the crew as a lookout. She is a mink. You know, I guess they need one of them on the crew. Mm-hmm. I still see Carrot joining. She has not gotten the development or the connection to Luffy. Because that's all she really needed was that moment with Luffy, and she hasn't got it at all. Yeah. And that's typically what every Straw Hat gets. So to me, it'll be the Straw Hats are a great pirate crew, and Carrot wants to join, so she stows away on the crew ship, and Luffy's okay with it.
Robin kind of did that as well.
She did, but you know what I mean? Like that's the only way I can see it. Her really joining. I don't see her having a moment with Luffy now. So
all right. So this came up for me as well. After Yamato finished holding back Kaido, right? She ended up riding Momo. And then she said, I'm sorry for leaving your side. I feel like people could have interpreted that as saying, I'm probably going to be your advisor and probably not leave Wano. Because now, as Oden, she has this weird thing where like she's now saying, oh, I got to be by Momonosuke's side. Mm-hmm. Do you guys think she ends up staying in Wano with Momonosuke or joining the Straw Hats?
I can see that, though, in all honesty. Like, pretty much, Momonosuke becomes the domino that Oden should have been, with a good relation with Kaido instead of like the vice versa, like how their parents had a bad relationship, the two ones ruling Wano in a good relationship, you know, like Yamato and Momonosuke in a good relationship with that, as a protector and as a daimyo. So that could be, and I could also see Momo joining. I mean, Momo, no, pretty much Yamato joining the Straw Hats. So that's where I like the whole idea where you don't know what's gonna happen, or like pretty much predict like or has it, but I could kind of see it going either way, you know.
What about you, Seth?
Yeah, I know me. I'm all about Momo for next Nakama. So,
but to me, it seems like that you said because she wants to go out to sea.
I could totally see both of them joining. I just don't know what that would do for my Carrot prospects. Why can't all of them just join? That would be dope. That would be different, right? That would be a different thing. Just have like 4 crew members join at the same time. No?
It'd be different, but it wouldn't be meaningful as the rest. I would... So the way I see it, I don't think she's going to change her idea. Like, she's so stuck on being Oden that once this is all done, I do think that she's still going to follow going out to sea the way he did, because she's also been stuck on the island forever as a kid and been held with chains. So I think the most important thing is defeating Kaido, but I think the next important thing for her is just getting off the island. Yeah. In total.
See, I would agree with that, but a part of me is like, she has to learn a lesson within the story of Oden, right? To change something about her. And it can't all just play out where, oh, I want to leave the island because Oden left the island, and then she ends up doing it. She has to learn from the mistakes that Oden made. See, and in that light, it's like
I agree.
She has to take responsibility for what Wano is, and be, I don't want to say be the Shogun, but she has to take part in helping Wano be what it's supposed to be.
So this is where you're making her the daimyo, in a way.
Shogun.
The
yeah,
Shogun.
Shogun.
Yeah, the Shogun.
Which
Okay,
See,
yeah, that's true.
in order for her to learn who she is, she has to do different things. She has to experience different type of environments. You can't do that staying where you were. And also, Odin did that. Odin came back and decided to be whatever he needed to be for the time being to help the country. Maybe she goes out to sea and then comes back after the journey is over. Who knows? But I do think that she's going to leave the island. She has to. And then there's just one last question. You know, we haven't had a cover story since chapter, I believe, 994, and it was with the Beige family. Do you guys think that we should have a serious cover story soon, or are you okay with just getting these cover requests?
I've always liked where you'd get like before where they had like fillers or they would have like storytelling and what's happening around the world through the covers. I've always liked that. You know, like when we saw like a whole series of what was happening with Enel, traveling to the moon, who he's meeting at the moon, what's going on in the moon, him building something in the moon through the covers. You know, so I've always liked you, and also too what we saw before about Bartholomew messing with Shanks's land, you know, or territory in a cover. I've always liked stuff like that. These things are cool, the pictures and everything, but I like seeing what's going on through the covers, like having a cover story where you see the details, what's actually happening in the One Piece world.
What about you?
I second that 100%. And we need a Doflamingo family cover story. How do we not get that? It's the longest arc in the series until Wano, and we didn't get that. We got the whole cake and Beige and Pound. Who cares? Doflamingo is the man. Like, his crew went hard. I got a cover story for you right now. I didn't even know you were going to do this. Virgo wakes up, puts his body back together, and breaks Doflamingo out of prison. That is the cover story. Oda,
cool.
draw that. Thank you.
I feel the same way as you guys. I think that anytime it's like an outlet that Oda can use to not give you much information, but to keep you so intrigued that you enjoy the story and you also enjoy this little piece of information because it's more lore. That's what really grabs everybody to One Piece. You know what I'm saying? One Piece was good, but it became really great when we met Whitebeard and Shanks and it clashed, and then we learned how big the world was. Keep providing us with lore. If not, it's not going to be as great.
Yeah. I want to add one more thing to that.
Yeah.
And I think it would be a good idea, because like I said with the whole fillers thing, instead of like having real fillers, but having those showing, like give some time for the show, the piece or a side piece out of this real story, but showing what's happening in those covers in the show.
It's like canon filler.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I would like to see, personally, myself, I would like to see Germa 6 do like a Power Rangers theme type cover story, and then they build all their slugs together to fight a huge Sea King. That's like super Power Rangers, like Power Rangery like themed. Like, you know how they were always like out of whack? It's like a huge sunflower with like arms and it's shiny, and they're just like, and it's like different colors. That would be dope to me.
That would be pretty dope.
All right, but anyway, guys, we have hit the time where we have to say goodbye. I'm so sorry, but don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out our TikTok and, you know, everything else. I just want to say thank you for joining us for episode 17, I think it is. 17, if it's not 17, oh well. But anyway, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Hope you take care. Love you.